Hi, I'm Abraham, and this is a program that I've been working on. It's a client management system. It's basically something that a company could use to store and manage client information. It's written entirely in Java. No external libraries or other technologies were used. So it basically runs on the console. And I've used object-oriented programming to develop this. It has 4 classes. The main class executes the program. This is where everything begins. The client class holds all of the client information. It has a constructor and its getters and setters for encapsulation. The client manager is basically a list of client objects, and everything revolves around this list, including the unique ID for every client and add client methods, validation, data validation, and removal of clients from the list. The client menu is basically a class that handles user input and console output. So it has things like menus, submenus, warnings, and it calls other functions or methods depending on the what the user chooses. So let's go ahead and see this in action. So this is the main menu, and this application was designed with the idea that it should not crash if given invalid inputs. So we'll go ahead and check for that now. So right now it has 0 clients in this directory. So if I try to update a client, it should catch it and not crash, which it does. And so it loops back around and asks me for a valid input. So I'll ask to delete a client. So it catches it again and it loops back. And to see the client directory, there's nothing in there. So if I give it a letter, it also catches it and it asks for a number. If I give it something outside of the parameters of the numbers, it catches that as well. And so the only option I have is to create a new client at this time. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll just call him Alan M, and we'll just call him Alan's company for now. Alan's company, the email address. So if I don't give it an @ symbol, it asks me for one. So it checks for a valid email address. So we'll just go ahead and say, just like that, the phone number. Just make the phone number up real quick. The street address. This whole street. Let's say he lives in New York. New York State. Zip code, something like that, and then we'll say Alan is a paid customer. So now that we have a client in there, we know some of that information is wrong, and so we need to go back and edit it. And it asks me, which one do you want to edit? So if I give it an invalid input, it should catch it, which it does. It doesn't crash. And so it asks me to input out of this or choose one of these clients. There's only one, so there's only one that I can edit. So I'll go back and I'll give him a last name. We'll just call him Moore for now. The city is wrong, so we'll go ahead and say update the city, and it should be New York City. And we'll leave it at that. We'll go back and we will check the directory now. And so there he is. And let's see if it catches an invalid input. And let's see if it catches another invalid input. Okay, so now go ahead and enter his ID. And here is his entire, all of his details. It updated his last name, and it updated his city as well. So that works. So we'll just go back. And the only thing to do now is to remove him from the directory. And so if I give it a letter, it should catch it without crashing. If I give it something outside of its parameters, it should catch it without crashing. So let's go ahead and delete him. And it gives me a little message here that says he was successfully removed from the system, and so was the ID. So yeah, we'll just go back and check, make sure there's nothing there. There's nothing in the system now. So that's just a little bit about how this program works. If you have any comments or questions, I'd love to hear from you. Thank you.